Frankie here. Today I'm joined with Boss, Styles Corrupt Montreal. We're here to talk about experience and knowledge on breaking. I've had quite a few people actually ask if we could make this interview happen with you specifically. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me, man.
You've had a very busy last year, right? We get to see some of your practice stuff you've been doing with Instagram and just all the battles you've been repping. How has your training been and how has competing been lately?
I want to do as much as possible. I feel like I'm in good shape. I'm like in a good time in my breaking career. So I'm trying to do as much as possible while I feel good.
Some breakers like to talk about how if you're battling like weekend after weekend, there's a little bit of a fatigue that happens. Even performance-wise, people maybe start expecting certain things.
Yeah, I feel that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to create new moves this year. This year I want to lab a lot, flip my style a bit because I've been rocking the same move for the past couple of years. Even though I freestyle with them and I flip them on the spot, I want to have like a new arsenal now. Sometimes people expect move and sometimes I do one of my classic and people are like, especially in Montreal, people are like, he didn't hit it like he hit it last time. So it's kind of a crash or something. I need to bring new material now. I need to bring new stuff.
Is it challenging to stay in shape for events and also try to create stuff? Doing as many things in your practice as you can, do you find that challenging?
Yes, but at the same time, I feel it's mainly being in shape that is difficult because creating, I never struggle with that. For me, it's the most fun part of the practice. Sometimes I just lab for hours, sometimes I just practice for a battle, and I'm still gonna create 2 or 3 moves that practice. Now it's natural for me. It was not at the beginning, but eventually it became so natural to create stuff.
I was just having this conversation with Bowsy from Rockforce. He was talking a little bit about his creative process and how one technique he does, for example, is he will try to listen and sample different pieces of music. Even if it's not a breaking related song, he'll try to break to it. And he finds that that helps him with finding new movements. Do you have any advice about how for you your creative process has become a lot easier?
Yeah, that's interesting, the Bowsy thing. I like that. When I create stuff, I like to take a foundation, let's say like a hook, and I like to ask myself questions. First, the move need to be super easy because I'm gonna try to flip it to a level that it became hard. So let's say something very easy like a hook, I'm gonna ask myself question. Can that hook spin? Can that hook travel? Do I need all my limb to do it? Do I need both my arm? Do I need both my leg? Does my hook have to be on the ankle? Can it be on the arm? I just ask a lot of questions. That move goes somewhere when I answer one question and then I ask another one and it goes somewhere else. And by the end, if I ask like 15 questions about that move, it's not even gonna look like a hook anymore. It's gonna look like a weird roll or like slide that go across the floor, but it started from a hook. Let's say you take a cartwheel. Can you do it one hand? Okay, cool. Now can you do it one hand with a push? Now can you do it one hand with a push with a 360 out of it? By the end, you're like, it's not even a cartwheel anymore. That's mainly how I create stuff. I ask myself questions. That or I just visualize a lot, especially when I go to bed. It's funny, like the moment I'm falling asleep is like the moment I'm the most creative. Every time that happens, I need to take a decision. Do I fuck up my night of sleep and I wake up and I try to write the move? Or do I say I'm gonna remember it the next day and it never happened? I have to wake up or I'm gonna forget it.
You kind of highlighted a very simple formula that we can apply to our own practice. You could do that for any move. And the questions that you ask are probably gonna be different from questions someone else asks.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody personality is different. Everybody body shape is different. I might have some strength that someone else is gonna be a weakness. I might have some flexibility lack that someone else is gonna have. We all have so many different possibilities with our body and with our mind. If we both take the same move and we ask ourselves question about it, we're gonna end up with a totally different thing at the end. That's the beauty of it. That's what makes breaks so nice, is that you create your thing.
Some of us are gonna have to go home and try this for sure. I wanna talk a little bit about your Breakin Origins. Fleo was on the channel just last year. He made an amazing documentary about the history of Montreal. At one point, Zig is talking about the different influences from French b-boys to Montreal. When you were first starting, who were some of your inspirations and what was some of the information you were being told?
Shout out to Fleo and Decipher. That documentary is crazy. One of my big inspiration was definitely like the top guy when I started. Fresh format, sweet technique, let's say like 2010, 2009. Especially sweet technique because when I started, I didn't believe that French Canadian were able to like go overseas and like kill it at jam, you know what I mean? In my head, it was not something that Canadian were doing that much. And then when I found out those guys, I was like, oh shit. You just have to do it. You just have to train and it's doable. It's nice to see people that are from your town do something and like it gives inspiration to the next gen. I love the Montreal scene. Very raw scene. I feel like the number one focus in the Montreal scene is everybody need to have like a style. Everybody need to like be original and like dance, actually dance. Another big inspiration is my crew. When I start dancing with them, when I meet Zig, when I meet the rest of the guys, my breaking take like a 180-degree change and like I start dancing more. I start like understanding the beauty of it mainly.
Can we talk a little bit about Styles Corrupt? What is kind of the framework or the approach, the overall approach you guys have?
We're very freestyle people. We like random stuff. Love stuff that like you cannot plan. Oh, like he did that thing and it was super dumb. It was on the music. Like we like dumb shit, you know what I mean? If it's b-boy, if it have like this essence, it's gonna be breaking, you know what I mean?
The first clip I'm gonna pull up is from 2016.
I was so whack. Okay, with the funky. Yeah, I need to bring that move back. Yeah, the shape is terrible though.
What do you think?
It's not so bad. It's 2016, I think I just got down with the crew. I think it was like my second battle with the guys. I was like learning to be more free and be more in the moment. There was still so many stuff that I didn't have time to like invest myself in, like shapes. I feel like naturally I'm not good, you know what I mean? Like some people are like naturally great or some people are like naturally like understand aesthetic and like how to create shape with their body. And me, it was very long process. That's me when I started to understand how to like be more free. It's good to be free, but there's so many other things that you need to understand in order for it to be fresh.
I like how you mentioned that growing up and breaking around other people, you do notice that certain people, they just move better.
Yeah, man.
You know, on average, I feel like this is my experience. If you're learning a move, you're learning an air flare or a 9, we just huck it.
Yeah.
Attempt after attempt after attempt, but then there are some people, they just get it quicker.
Yeah.
It's
like body type, like personality, like what you've done before too, exactly. When I train with someone I never trained, sometimes I can go like, oh, you played basketball before. Like, oh yeah, how do you know? Well, like the way you break. You break like you play basketball before. You can make link with strength that you learn in past sport or like art form and like how does it affect your movement. And some people are just naturally gifted. Like I hate those fuckers though. Me, I was the worst and like that's 2016, but man, 8 years in. I think the first like 6 years I really not waste my time, but I was doing like a lot of conditioning and power stuff. I didn't understood the musicality, the shape, like what is breaking basically. I was definitively not there to win back then. I was there to overcome fear and challenge. And I was happy to rep with the boy and to experience stuff.
what kind of instruction or maybe impact getting down with Styles Corrupt do for you from this point on?
2017, 16, it's the moment I start training with DMAT. We were doing a one training week with the crew, let's say like Sunday, and I was doing like 3 training solo or 3 training with DMAT, just me and DMAT. We were like training for that crew practice. By the crew practice time, we were arriving with like new move, we like improved that and that and that. So every week was like a test for us, was like an exam. Yeah, it gave us like purpose to like get better. And him, he was so young and he was getting so good so quickly. I just wanted to keep up with the kid back then. He was so good.
Definitely the positive pressure that it puts on you when you have a crewmate that's like, he's gonna leave me behind if I don't pick it up. And then this idea of training on your own versus crew, you might make the group practice like the main focus. it's good to take some time on your own too.
We used to do like 5-hour practice, 2 or 3 hours hard. We chill for like 30 minutes, we eat something. Like half of the crew was coming back after that and doing like another hour, hour and a half, 2 hours practice after. And it was like more like workout, drill, lab. But the first part was just a big get down. That was fun. Those were like the best time for me.
And I get a soul clap in 2017.
Bro, that's not the same guy. That's funny. I break so much in 2016. I dropped my job and I just trained the whole year. I was unhappy with my work. I was training for schizometer. I was working as an electrician and the work was very hard. It was outside, it was cold. And I was getting home and I was training, but I was so tired of the work. I really put like an X on the calendar for schizometer. I really want to pass prelim that year. And I saw like the day pass and I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna do it. I dropped my job and I started like training 5 days a week, 6 days a week. Some friend gave me like a key to studios and I went like banana, man. I'm never gonna train as hard as I trained that year. And I think it was probably unhealthy. I think like now, taking a look back at it, I think it could have been like more efficient doing less, taking more rest, being more smart with the way I practice. But yeah, I was so motivated to do schizometer, man. I actually did great. I made schizometer. My level just exploded that year.
How did you support yourself after you quit your job?
I had put money on the side. I think I quit for like 8 months and then I went back for a couple of years. And then I quit and I was just like, I'm gonna do dance full time. I love it too much.
You mentioned looking back, it looks a little unhealthy. Why so?
I was young. I was like 21 or something. My body was still able to take it, but there's like smarter way to approach training and growth. Now I feel like I'm older, barely getting injured. I don't do as much, but I keep getting better because I'm more smart about my training. Yeah, it's not necessarily how much you do, it's how you do it sometimes. And I was doing a lot, not necessarily the best way. I could not have done more. That's the good part of it. Like, oh, I can't do that anymore. Yeah, I feel like that's the year that everything started like falling in place, kind of. Like I still have like, all my signature was new back then, and I was still able to throw them in battle effortlessly. But I was still able to blank out and just freestyle and just, oh, there's this sound coming and whoo, I slide across the floor. Oh, I do that step on a specific sound. That was not planned. So it was like that balance of I need to throw move because it's a battle and I need to be in the moment and connect because that's what we want to represent. I was starting to get it that year.
Do you want to give us a little background about 2021? I know you had a surgery, right?
Yeah, I was speaking about training too hard. That's one of the things too. I was not listening that much to the signal of my body. 2017, 18, 19, I was training super intense until the next injury. And then stopping for like a month or two, training super intense. I was too hungry for my own good. I should have done less, but never get injured. 2020, I tore my labrum. I had like surgery, I had like 12 attached in the shoulder. The labrum is what's holding the head of the bone. It's like the socket. So when you don't have it anymore, your arm can just like dislocate a bit everywhere. Yeah, I had surgery and I had to like relearn how to use my arm a bit. I really had time to like focus on foundation and how dancing make me feel, because I was not able to like dance for I think like 3 months, which doesn't sound that crazy, but to me I was dancing like every day. I was always dancing, so 3 months my mental health suffered a lot, man. I had to like learn how to glide and like do little like one arm popping and stuff just for my own good, you know. Sometimes injury is a blessing, you know what I mean? That craving that it creates. When I came back, I was just so happy to be able to move and to be able to express and to connect with those people. And Breaking is the most beautiful thing, and sometimes you take it for granted, and when it's taken away from you just for a short time, it makes you appreciate it. I talked to AT about that, and like the same thing happened to her. I think it was her shoulder too, and she was like, yeah, the day I got injured, when I got back, that's the moment I start winning stuff. It's the same thing for me. That helped me so much because it forced me to work on my foundation, and it forced me to enjoy the fact that I'm here. I'm so happy to be here present and dancing, and like whatever happened. I'm just gonna enjoy, and that make my dance so much better.
That's an interesting life thing too. Sometimes humanity just has to learn things the hard way.
Absolutely, especially young people.
I assume your right side, is that your dominant side?
Absolutely, yeah. Forced me to learn a lot of move on the other side, to do more footwork. When I came back after that, I was still a bit injured. Like, I won everything that year. I won like Schizometer, I won Red Bull, I won the WDSF Canadian National. I won every big one-on-one, and my shoulder was still, it was not 100%. I was not able to pull everything I wanted to pull, but I was just so happy and so hungry for it. And I feel like everybody in the breaking, in the Canadian scene kind of like took a break. It was like, oh, there's COVID, okay, I'm not gonna break as much. And me, I was doing the opposite. That was like a weird year for me because I won all those things. I never won a big one-on-one before 2021, and I won all those things. And it was always split decision. Red Bull, I think I didn't won like one battle with all the votes. That's good for me. I take it as like, oh, great, okay, I need to keep going then. That's what it means. I need to bring that move back. Eels is so freaking clean, man. To the hollow back. Yeah, I was just surviving, man. That was an interesting battle. Such a contrast of approach too. With me and Ills, that first round he did it like a couple of times in other battle, like the same round from A to Z. My second round, I have no idea what I've done. And I was just trying to catch like the flow and the music. It was way more sloppy for sure. Yeah, I feel it's just two different approach. I feel like one is probably way more efficient. If you want to be good fast, and if you want to look good, I feel like my approach is more fun though. But you can look really sloppy sometimes though.
So this was in 2018, so this is a little bit more of that young energy, go, 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 right?
Yeah. That jump was fire. Yeah, I fucked up the ending. Me, Vicious, and DMAT, and we were against Monster Team, so we were kind of like the underdog. I love to be the underdog because you have nothing to lose and everything to win, so that's like the best spot to be in.
Monster was really hot around this time too. They just came off a win from Freestyle Session.
There was like Monster logo everywhere, and then we were against the Monster Team, so we were like, yo, this is perfect. We all had like our biggest move left. We made the final after that. We didn't have that much move after. We got smoked in the final, but we were like, we take out the Monster Team. That was a good day, you know? Yeah. Again, that was when everything was starting to came together, the balance of like being on the moment, freestyle, not knowing what you're doing, but still being able to run through like those key points that you plan on doing.
Do you think finding this balance is something you can necessarily teach to someone, or is it just kind of something you kind of stumble across?
No, I think can be taught because Zig taught it to me, my crew taught it to me. Sometimes it's like indirectly, sometimes it's just by influence. I learned that from watching specific things. You can definitely teach that. I teach that to some kid a bunch of time. If like you have an approach, let's say you're very like structured and you want to get more free, you kind of need to accept the fact it's not going to be perfect. It's going to be more free, it's going to be more random, which I like, but it's not going to be as clean as what we're expecting you to be. The transition is probably harder from like someone structured to be more free than someone more free to be more structured. Both approaches are very good too. I respect every approach basically. I feel like the best is to have everything.
This is from Unbreakable.
Yeah, that was sick against Mano. Yo, Mano is such a freaking legend, man.
What do you think?
First round was cool. Second round, I was searching too much. It's all about the music sometimes too. There's music I'm gonna react better than other. I'm just happy I didn't choke. I was against Mano, I was like on that big jam, I was a bit tired. I think I got like 1 vote in that whole battle on like, I think there was like 9 judges, 7 judges, which I'm happy. I'm like, yo, I gotta vote against Mano, but I feel like right now we'll do much better already. Mano was a big influence in my life. It's really like a style of like flow and fineness, originality, and like what can you do with your mind and with your body. That speak a lot to me. It was an honor to battle that guy.
I like you mentioned this comment how he's so masterful with changing the speeds. I heard something recently online. He was just giving just general life advice. I forget who it was. People that are in the most control, they don't move fast. They actually move slow.
Yup. I feel like it's harder to move slow actually. At the beginning it's the opposite, like you move slow because you're a beginner, but at some point, okay, now I'm strong with everything. Let me show you how fast I can go. Okay, great. Now you're going fast because you want to show me as much stuff as possible because you're stressed. Me, when I start battling, like the first footage you show me, I was going super fast because I was stressed. I wanted to do good, so I was doing more explosive. Doing less at the right time, it's so hard, but that's maturity right there. That's experience right there. Like Mano was like, oh, there's nothing I can do on that sound. I'm just gonna walk it off. I know when the beat is gonna drop. I'm gonna come in with a slide. Most b-boy would just have keep top rocking because they're disconnected. That's a very good example of taking your time. Just create contrast. Not because you're able to go fast that you necessarily have to. If you can show me that you can be fresh, and I feel it's harder to be fresh while going slower, it's doable and it's so dope when someone is able to do it.
I remember his entire bracket. He's not even sweating. Practically, people are having to throw out their biggest moves, but he's like walking.
I think he took like a break 1 year or 2 because he got like injury and he was like labbing a lot, and that's like his comeback that day in Europe. He was like there to say that he was still Mano, you know? It's just fun to like witness stuff like that.
I just have one discussion point left before we adjourn here. If you're trying to be free, like you said, you're trying to be free, maybe it doesn't look as nice right off the bat versus being so perfectionist and wanting everything to look perfect. I feel like sometimes breakers are just too quick to scrap ideas.
I feel like everything can be fresh if you work on it. Every movement, every idea can be pushed to a level that it's presentable and actually fresh. You just need to put the time, or you just need to do it at the right time.
Mas, thank you so much for your time today. Good luck with all these battles, staying healthy.
I got a lot of battle coming up. I'm trying to stay in shape. I have a lot of project on the side. Yeah, life is good. I'm doing contemporary dancing too on the side. Just enjoying dance, man. I'm just trying to dance as much as possible right now.
Is the contemporary stuff for like performing?
Yeah, like we're doing creation and show and stuff like that. So.
Okay, how is it helping your breaking?
It's not directly affecting my breaking. I feel like every decision I took in the past 10 years has been related to my breaking. Every time I take a decision, like, oh, do I go there? Is it gonna be good for my breaking? Yes. No? Okay, I don't go. The biggest factor, the biggest thing that affects my breaking is like the process of it. Because they're so like cerebral about it. They're so structured about it. We're doing art, we're doing something like very abstract, but everything has a meaning, everything has a reason. I'm kind of trying to take that same approach with my breaking now. I'm trying to like find more meaning in how do I practice, why do I do that? Like trying to be more structured. And when I arrive to the jam, I just freestyle, but I feel it helped a lot, like the process mainly. It's mainly the creation process that is very interesting and that I feel I can create connection with. Let's say like my move in my head, like when I create it, is like I take my knee with my elbow and I slide across the floor. Like I take it and I slide. Okay, how can I not do it the same way all the time and just use the concept of like, okay, my elbow is going to grab the knee and I'm gonna create something out of it. And every time it's different. Now it's just like an idea more than like, oh, I'm doing the knee move. It's more like, oh, now I'm doing that thing and I'm playing with it. Poppers do that a lot. They bring a box. Oh, they show you the box and oh, they play around the box. They don't know what they're gonna do with the box. They play with the idea a lot in practice, so much that now they can do it in a battle. They don't know what they're gonna do specifically on the moment because it depends on the music. And us, B-boy, we tend to like, oh, I practice this move. I'm gonna show you the move and I'm gonna try to put it on the music, which is fine, but it's not as connected as, oh, I'm gonna show you that idea and I'm gonna show it to you specific way because of the music. For me, that's like the goal, you know what I mean? Yeah, eventually my goal is to have like no move, but like idea to like play with.
Mas, thank you again so much.
Yo,
for your
thank
time
you,
today.
bro.
Good luck with the battle today. Good luck with everything in the future, and we'll see you next time, all right?
Thank you, bro.
We're out of here. Peace.